bloke who shoots fucking sharks or whatever the fuck. This UFC fighter.
Shoot sharks.
He's had all sorts of weird
The
people
shark
on.
hunter.
Second on the podcast, Batman.
Yeah. 5 dream podcast guests, dead or alive.
Okay.
And obviously, if they're on your podcast, they're not. They won't be a corpse.
So I'm removing anyone I've had.
Yeah.
So I think probably Gervais would have been on this list.
Okay.
So he's knocked off now, ticked off. Number 1, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Because he's sort of the reason I decided to do it.
Yeah, that's a really good shout.
Best podcaster of all time, in my humble opinion.
But why though? Like, because as somebody who, and I don't get me wrong, I do enjoy his podcast, and I do watch the odd one. But I don't know if it's because I know you, but I prefer the TrueGeordie podcast. So what is it about him that you love? What does he do?
The magic of Joe Rogan is that he always grows as a person. So the reason why he's been able to keep everyone's interest when he does 5 podcasts a week, every single week, is the Joe Rogan of 2 years ago is not the same as the Joe Rogan now. And even as a 50-year-old man, he's constantly learning, he's constantly changing his views, he's constantly evolving as a person. And how much shit he knows blows my fucking mind. So, like, he could have, like, I carefully select who I'm going to have on. He, like, this scientist, this historian, this fucking bloke who shoots fucking sharks or whatever the fuck, this UFC fighter.
Shoot sharks.
He's had all sorts of weird
The
people
shark
on.
hunter.
No, man, he's just... And
He's got like 1,000 episodes.
I mean,
1,200.
That's not including all the other fucking pods he's done as well on MMA or whatever. Like, the amount of the diversity in his conversations and how he can hold his own with people from all walks of life, and the fact that at 50 or whatever he is, he can do 2 podcasts a day, no problem, then go and do a comedy set at night, then go and commentate on the UFC on a Saturday night as well. I mean, his work rate it pisses on everyone on YouTube, in my opinion. So it might not... You could argue that maybe he doesn't have the single greatest podcast of all time in terms of the one episode that might be the best, but like his body of work, for me, there's a reason why when you look at the iTunes episode charts, he dominates. He is the best, in my opinion. So that would be the reason.
What if you had to say to someone who'd never watched a Joe Rogan podcast in their life to watch one single episode? Which one would you pick out?
My personal favourites are when he gets pissed with his mates. Like they because I like his friends as well. His friends are all very likable guys.
Right.
But I think the biggest episode he might have ever done was the Alex Jones one, where he had Alex Jones on for the 9/11 podcast, ironically.
Right.
And he's just a logical guy, and he questions things, but in the right way, and he sits quite in the middle, and he's just a cool guy to have a laugh with. But the reason I like the Alex Jones ones is just because they get a conspiracy theorist off his tits, and he spouts loads of shit, and it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
you know what I
mental. I can't watch anything with Alex Jones on.
I can imagine.
I find him hilarious.
But I lose track. I think it's so fucking mental. It's almost, to me, when he talks, one thing that I hate, a pet peeve of mine, and I don't know if I've said this before on the podcast, apologies if I have, but I don't like when people tell me their dreams. Right? I don't fuck it. It pisses me off because like someone will go, right, and when I say someone, I mean Fiona, but I'm just gonna, just gonna get shit for this. Yeah,
You're becoming like Gervais and Jane now, isn't it? In 10 years, we're going to be hearing all about Fiona with a picture of here's her with her friends. Huh?
Nobody there. It's her dreams, just an empty picture.
When you say dreams, do you mean like when they're asleep dreams?
Yeah.
Or dreams for the future?
Yeah, it's not like she comes to me and goes, I really want a promotion. I go, you're a cunt, grow up. But no,
Shut the fuck up, Fiona.
That is exactly what I thought you were talking
No,
about.
I mean, like, someone will come to me, like, my mate will say to me in the pub, I had a dream last night, it's mad, you won't believe it.
Oh,
and I'll be like, no, I will believe it because it's a dream.
Men don't, like I know I'm a bit,
Shut down.
but men don't do that shit. It's always women who bang on about their fucking dreams.
Ironically.
When I wake up in the morning, don't fucking, if I haven't got a coffee, don't fucking talk to me. Coffee first, then I listen to your fucking dreams,
Well,
alright?
it's your dream, I'll tell you, it's
2
shit.
sugars.
But they'll go like, oh yeah, there was this llama and it had wings and I was flying on it and we went to Home Bargains and she'll be like, how mad's that? No, it's not mad.
It's a
It's
dream.
not mad because it's a dream. When that actually happens, tell me and I'll be like, fuck me.
Why does this relate to Alex Jones? Because I'm really confused.
Because
So there's a conspiracy theory about llamas.
No, because I feel that when I listen to Alex Joe, the reason I can't compute with dreams is because it's so random. It's like, well, anything can happen.
We have the documents.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
I think he chats so much waffle that I lose track
But
of it.
he's been deplatformed, as they say now, because he basically accused the people who were involved in the school, was it the school shootings, and
Yeah,
that, of
one of
being
them.
actors and it's not real. And I mean, he just took the absolute piss with all of this crap. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, no.
I think you'll always be heavily against anything like that because you don't like things that can't be real anyway. Like you won't even watch a film if it couldn't happen in real life.
Nah, it'll piss me off.
Yeah.
That's why I hate Game of Thrones.
You hate superhero things.
They
The
c-
only superhero you like is Batman because he's just a rich guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so anyone coming at you with something that
My-
is unreasonable,
My
you're gonna
favourite
hate it.
superhero film was Kick-Ass because they
It's
ain't got
just a
their
random
powers. They're
kid.
just trying to be it. Yeah, yeah. I hated that new one with the purple frog and the glove.
Thanos.
frog.
Purple frog.
he not a
Thanos
frog?
is a purple
I don't know.
frog.
I don't really watch superhero films that
You
much.
remind me a bit of Thanos, actually.
Batman. That's what I watch as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
I think where
Second on the podcast,
Yeah.
Batman.
yeah, let's get back to the question.
Bruce Wayne.
That's a realistic one. You're going to get angry at him for his dreams.
I'm fuming.
All right. So James Gandolfini, who played Tony
Oh,
Soprano in The
nice.
Sopranos, my favorite actor ever.
Yeah,
They're
quality.
remaking The Sopranos, like they're doing a prequel movie.
Right, they're usually shit though, aren't they?
They are. I'm worried,
Yeah.
but his actual son, who was with him when he died, is going to play him
Fucking hell.
in the movie. So
That's
that'd
good.
be pretty cool.
Yeah,
And he looks a lot like his dad. So
yeah. I've never seen The Sopranos.
Oh my fucking god!
Just get up and walk out.
No. I'm glad I can give this gift to you, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like Goodfellas. You ever seen Goodfellas? No.
I thought it was because I don't know if you like good films.
The Sopranos is a quality fucking piece of work.
Isn't there like 9 seasons?
There is, but the thing is, it's like the reason you have all of the reason Netflix is Netflix is because people love box sets. The reason people love box sets is because The Sopranos was like the first real quality show. It was based on gangsters, but really this theme is family and relationships, and instead of not speaking to each other anymore, they have each other whacked. Right? It's fucking
Yeah.
Tony Soprano. Like Gervais calls it the greatest TV show of all time.
Right.
For that, he's a really complex guy who, like, he's so flawed, but like he's a loving bloke, but he's also quite nasty. He's got girlfriends on the side. He's fucking violent, but then he's trying to be a better man. He's a mobster going to therapy. He's full of contradictions, but it's a really interesting show. And I think acting performance-wise, that was the most believable. When you talk about believable character I've ever seen on
Really?
TV. Yeah.
Never seen it. Have you seen it? No.
Oh man,
I just didn't want to.
I'm giving you a gift,
Well, I have
yeah,
to
lads.
now.
Thank me later.
What's your favourite series,
Right now,
Yeah.
I just finished the season 2 of The Punisher.
Stevie?
Very good season. Game of Thrones. No.
I like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I like Breaking Bad.
So Breaking Bad's good.
Mm.
Sopranos is better.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking
But
hell.
my favorite show at the minute is called The Last Kingdom. It's on Netflix.
Incredible. It was on BBC.
Yeah, it started on BBC and then Netflix picked it up. It's like Game of Thrones in terms of like people will liken it to that, but it isn't. It's based around the Viking times.
Actual kings as well.
Yeah, it's based around real events, that battles that took place and that, and it's like, oh, it's fucking classic.
It's very good.
I would have thought you would have been a big fan of Sunderland Till I Die.
No, I've never seen that.
It's
Oh,
good.
have you not
I
seen
just
it?
can't sit through that.
Every time I see that on
Generally,
Netflix.
really, really interesting.
I like that documentary.
I learned a
Was it
lot
good?
about.
Yeah,
I learned a lot
it's
about
good.
how a football club is ran,
Mm.
and also it made me hate footballers.
Yeah.
So
What did you think of Jack Rodwell?
he's a cunt.
No, I'm the only one that doesn't think he was.
Why?
What was the tell people
The
the deal
context.
about it?
The context, right? So obviously Sunderland Football Club had just been relegated 2 years on the bounce, so they went from having this big budget in the Premier League to League One budget. And Jack Rodwell, when he was in the Premier League, had signed, and I'm going to get the numbers slightly off, but round about a 5-year contract on X amount, 80k.
It was 60
60K.
grand a week for 5 years.
5 years.
And there was no thing in his contract that meant if they got relegated that he was.
So
the
they
only
had
player,
to pay him the
Yeah,
60.
He's
the
the
whole
only
time.
player who didn't have a clause where his contract would be half.
The other ones
You
got
need to get
halved,
the
yeah.
point, Alex, man.
Fuck off.
This is where we cut it all. It's
Yeah,
fine.
wait till I get to Rafa. Fucking hell.
Shut up. He's not
But,
involved, thank God.
So what they do is on transfer deadline day in League One, 2 years on, they say to him, they call him into the office and they say, "Look, Jack, can you leave the club? Can you just terminate your contract? You're a good player. You'll get signed in the Championship, and this will really help the club." and he comes out and he says, "I'll think about it." And then you got the owner sat there going, "I really fucking hope he makes the right decision here." And then he just says no, and everyone on Twitter's like, "Jack Rodwell's a cunt." It's like, no, they've offered him this contract. If somebody said to you, "Can you be unemployed, please, because it's really going to help this company that has
agree.
more money than you," I'm going to go, "Fuck yourself."
I agree
No.
if it wasn't for the fact that he didn't do an entire newspaper piece because he played 0 games in the championship.
Yeah, but
pretty
then
much.
Tevez did the
Because
same.
He refused to play in the championship. He wouldn't play. Goes to the press after the club go, "Come on, Jack, like at least like fucking play. Like we need you to play if you're on 60 grand a week." He goes to the press. He goes, "I'm in the form of my life. I'm so fit. I just don't get any opportunities at Sunderland." And then they go to him the next day after he does this newspaper thing and go, "Well, can you play then?" And they have a camera in the wall in the area where they all do medical after training. And I think it's Darren Gibson goes, "Oh, I saw a newspaper piece. Does that mean you're going to start playing again?" And he goes, "No fucking chance, mate."
Really?
Day after he said he's day after
Now
said,
you see he's a
yeah,
cunt.
and that's
Oh,
why
yeah, there you go.
that's why I thought he was a cunt. Because
Right.
obviously, if you're offered a 60 grand a week contract, no, you're not just going to rip it up.
Did you see Darren Gibson
Oh,
crushing his car?
mate,
Yes.
that's all in the doc.
That's in the doc
Yeah,
as well.
Is it?
yeah. There's a bit
Magic.
where he's in the pub and he's slagging off Sunderland.
Oh yeah,
and they
seeing
film
that.
him.
Yeah, seeing that with
Right
his- with
before the
the
beginning of
fans.
the season.
There's a bit.
But I like it when he went, "None of them give a fuck."
yeah,
I like that,
yeah,
actually.
it's a bit real. I love when there's a bit where Chris Coleman's in the car park. And this guy comes up to him and calls him a prick, and he goes, "What do you mean I'm a prick? I'm a married man. I've got 6 kids."
Yes, he does say that.
That's irrelevant.
I love how at the birth of every child he has, child number 4 is like, "Definitely not a prick." Now. Like that doesn't prove nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, and when he goes to screw up to him afterwards, and it's like, "What are you doing?"
I know, it's bizarre.
And then
yeah.
it instantly cuts to Chris Coleman was fired.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
genuine. I think football clubs are full of dicks. Like in terms of like the people who run them, it's full of non-professional people who've never had to have proper jobs. So they're just a bunch of young boys mentally with a load of money to play around with. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Definitely.
very rarely do you get good people.
It's like the whole Arnautovic thing going on at the moment.
Yeah.
What do you think to that?
What's the crack currently?
Because
He just
he
signed a new contract, didn't he?
I thought he was
ju-
going to leave.
we just lost 4-2 to Wimbledon in the cup,
Big game.
which he didn't want to play in. Like he could have played because he's not gone anywhere. Didn't play. He said he wants to go to China, and I quote, "to win cups." Right. Then
Money.
he says, "Oh, now I'm not going to China. On Friday night, I'm not going to China. Saturday we play Wimbledon. Why are you not playing if you want to win cups?" And then he posts a video on Twitter last night going, "Hey West Ham fans, like I've decided to stay." Well, I don't
No
know,
one wanted to.
Yeah, no one put the big bid in, and now he's like, "I'm devoted," and he's just signed a new contract.
He's just another bell end, isn't he? That's
Everyone's just going for money.
Let's go back to your third.
I bet you never thought it would take this long to answer
I don't
five
mind.
people.
I mean, I'm not. It's not. I don't know. We'll see how good of a listener.
You've got me on the podcast.
I like. I'd like to have Eminem on. I liked his
Ooh,
interview
that'd
series
be
that he
good.
recently did when he dropped the Kamikaze album.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a dark character. He comes across quite sort of bit of a geek, but I like that about him. Like you can tell he's obsessive.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't give a lot, and I feel like if you could like break that barrier down and find out what is really going on in his fucking head, it would be
There'd be a lot of stories.
it'd be an
Probably be good
interesting-
for him, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like what you were saying about how was it? Was it Dizzy Rascal? You were saying about how he's almost a bit sad now at his own predicament. I feel that would be Eminem a little bit.
fully.
Yeah.
That
I feel like
definitely
just by
came
listening to
across.
his new album, like half of it is about him going, "I'm really sorry that the last one was shit."
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
everyone
he
hated that.
He
though.
doesn't like what he makes being criticised. It gets to him, and that's why he lashed out at so many people, I think.
Yeah.
But to me, that's mad because it's like, you're Eminem. Who gives a fuck if you made a bad album? Like,
Yeah.
How
he
would
does,
you-
apparently. He really cares.
How
So-
would you prepare for an interview like that? Because you'd need to think that if you can't break him down, you're probably going to get another
Diss
shit
track.
interview.
with Eminem, I've literally, he was my first like album I had when I was like 11.
Mine was Curtain Call.
I had the Marshall Mathers LP, and I remember
That comes quite late.
I remember being 11 years old and listening to Kill You. And he starts off, "I was just a little baby boy. Mama used to tell me these crazy
Yeah.
things." And like, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like straight away, and I was just hooked, basically.
Corrupted you from the off.
Yeah. What like this is what amazes me is when I see what YouTubers are putting out who are like appealing to young kids. I'm like, wow. When I was 11, I was listening to Marshall Mathers LP and like shit where he's talking about like killing his wife on the album and like
Yeah.
and maybe laughing at like South Park
Mm.
and
Yeah, that
then I
weirds me
see
out.
the kids these days are watching that little lass with the fucking bows in her hair, and I'm like,
JoJo Siwa, yeah.
what the fuck is going
I
on?
just feel like I skipped that, like that entire.
That never
generation.
happened to me.
You're
ever.
making it sound like it's a bad thing. Why is everyone not listening to people want to kill people?
No, but I'm genuinely like.
I just don't know how you get there.
But when I
right?
was 11, I would have known that she was a cunt. Do you know what I'm saying? I would have been like, she's a cunt.
I like
straight
when
away.
you say about you bring up Jojo Siwa or whatever her name is, and we all just slowly turned and looked at Alex like you've done a few videos on her.
I'm doing a video on her actually today.
Oh my
so
God.
No,
there
I
you
watched
go.
some of her videos recently because Logan had her on the podcast, and I was like, what a cunt. Do you know what I mean?
She's how old is she? Like 14
15,
and
No,
yeah.
she's 15, but like she's apparently telling people get your mum and dad's credit cards or whatever, some shit like that.
she
Whoa.
sold 40 million of those bow things. that
Yeah,
she's got.
but this is the
million.
thing is, if you want to make money on YouTube, I mean, we fucked up. If you want to make money on YouTube, appeal to kids first,
yeah, we're fucked.
second women,
Yeah.
third, and if at all, men, like lads, because
if they exist.
I mean, I look at it now and I think I fucked up, mate. Going for the lads. There's no money in lads.
they don't want
money
to buy
is-
anything.
I mean, your classic case, we've seen your CPM.
Hello.
Money is in appealing to women and kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I fucked up. Next on the list.
He's
Not
really
all-
hurt by
And
that.
the
isn't
rest
he?
of the list is just women.
Next on the list. Sarah Jessica Parker? No, Tupac.
Of all the women,
Yeah.
what an odd
No, but
choice.
she's a woman that appeals to women.
Sex in the City. No.
Yeah.
Tupac.
Yeah.
I just think he's a really complex character, and I loved his music growing up.
Yeah.
And for people, the one thing that people forget about Tupac is he was like 25 when he died, and when you think of how much he achieved and all the barriers he broke down and the kind of music he made, he's just untouchable for a 25-year-old bloke to die like he did. So
I actually didn't know he was that young when he died.
he was
that's what he said.
he was a super genius. Him but he had so many parts of his personality where like he could make a song about how women need to keep their head up when they're being left as single mothers. Then he could make a song like "fuck all these bitches."
Yeah.
So but I like that. Like when people have a go at me, like I say one bad thing about a certain type of person, they're like, "Oh, he's a fucking misogynist." It's like, well, how could I hate women? Me mum's one.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I've just been with fucking Gervais all day. All right,
You've become
and last
Brad.
Conor McGregor. Depending on the future,
Yeah.
we'll see.